time for Northwestern Outdoors Radio, brought to you by Loophole, America's optical authority. Check out their scopes, binoculars, and more at loophole.com. By Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors. See what's cooking for you at campchef.com. By Wallowa County, nature never looks so good as it does in Northeast Oregon. Plan your trip today at WallawaCountyChamber.com. By Max Lure Company, makers of the Smile Blade and Wedding Ring Spinner. Find out more at maxlure.com. And by Mardon Resort, where the fish bite, but we don't. Book your next hunting, fishing, or camping getaway at mardonresort.com. Now, let's head to the field and find out what's going on this week with your host, John Cruz.
Have you ever fished in a derby or tournament before? I'm not talking about the Bassmaster Classic here. I'm talking about, anything from a local bass or walleye club tournament to a salmon, steelhead, or kokanee derby, or maybe even a kids fishing contest. If you haven't, you ought to give it a try, because not only are these derbies and tournaments a lot of fun, but you also get to compete too, in a setting far different than those football fields, high school tracks, or baseball diamonds you may have spent time on as a kid. This week on the show, we're going to go a little tournament crazy as we share opportunities to fish in all 4 states for just about anything you can imagine catching. We'll start off in Wenatchee, Washington, where Peter Floor at Hooked on Toys is going to tell you about the North Central Washington CCA Salmon Derby taking place on the Upper Columbia River in July. We'll also be talking to Shannon Hampy. She is the tournament director for the Ray Stanley Memorial Bass Tournament taking place further upstream near Brewster and Pateros, Washington on the mighty Columbia. From Washington, we head to Montana to chat with Carol Henkel, one of the women who organizes the Camp Make a Dream Walleye Benefit every year. This tournament takes place every summer on Canyon Ferry Reservoir near Helena, and the proceeds go to a great cause we're going to tell you more about. In addition to this, we'll be telling you about kokanee fishing derbies in Oregon, salmon fishing tournaments in Puget Sound, another great Montana fishing event for a good cause, and an Idaho Panhandle tournament put on by the local Elks Lodge in St. Mary's. Throw in some outdoor news and a Father's Day edition of our extended Max Minute with Lance Mers, and we've got another great show coming your way. But first, David Sparks has another edition of Sportsman Spotlight for you. This week, David tells you about a talented British Columbia artist who specializes in painting salmon, steelhead, and trout.
Art that literally imitates life. David Sparks, Sportsman Spotlight. Our regular contributor and great fisherman, Josh Mills, doesn't spend all of his time on the water. Once in a while, he even looks at art, as we are about to find out.
So I want to tell you, a lot of times art and the outdoors go together. And in 2012, my father and a friend of mine, we drove 22 hours from Spokane up to the Skeena River system and stayed a couple days in one town called Houston and the next town called Hazleton. I got to know through some friends quite a remarkable outdoor wildlife artist. Her name is Leah Pipe, and she does some of the best fish, salmon, steelhead, as well as indigenous art up there, up in B.C. One of the best ways to find her, because her website is under construction at this current time, is go to Facebook, and there's 2 ways. Leah Pipe Artist, if you type that in under your search bar, and Pipe, P-I-P-E, just like a corn cob, if you will. Yep. No weird spelling on that, but it's Leah Pipe, L-E-A-H, Pipe, P-I-P-E. And her gallery up in Hazleton, which is this beautiful small town on the banks of the Skeena River, is called Antler and Art. And it's one of these people that really captures the essence of the outdoors through her medium. She's got some steelhead prints that I want more than I probably should, but she ships across the world, so check it out. Her name's Leah Pipe. Look for it at Art and Antler on Facebook and give it a shout.
This is David Sparks for Sportsman Spotlight.
At Shiloh Inn Suites Hotels, 4-star accommodations come with something else you'll really appreciate: affordability. Hello, I'm Mark Hemstreet, owner of Shiloh Inns. Relax in Shiloh's beautiful deluxe smoke-free suites. Enjoy Shiloh's spacious pools, spas, steam, and sauna rooms. At Shiloh Inn Suites Hotels, we're making 4-star excellence affordable with more free amenities than most any other hotel chains. For reservations, call 1-800-222-2244 or visit our website at shilohins.com. Shiloh Inns, affordable excellence.
When my dad, Mark Hemstreet, founded Shiloh Inns over 37 years ago, he made it a point to cater to women who travel on business. I'm Stacy McDonald with a special message for the women business traveler. From security to friendly, efficient Shiloh employees, we're here to make your business travel something special. We call it Shiloh's Affordable Excellence. Call 800-222-2244 or visit shilohwinds.com.
Psst, yeah, you, the guide, outfitter, or outdoors business owner who's listening to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. Have you ever thought of becoming a sponsor of our show? We've got local sponsor opportunities at all 50 of the stations that carry Northwestern Outdoors every week, and we've got some network opportunities too. If the outdoors is your business, we can help you with your advertising needs. Contact me, John Cruz, through our website at northwesternoutdoors.com for more information. That's northwesternoutdoors.com, helping you get the word out about your outdoors company.
When I'm backpacking in the mountains, I like to travel light. That's why I carry Camp Chef's ready-made gourmet outdoor meals. These freeze-dried meals cook right in the pouch. Just add water. With menu choices like cheesy lasagna, teriyaki chicken with rice, and more, these meals taste great. And with a shelf life of 7 years, they're also perfect as an emergency food supply at home. Look for Camp Chef's ready-made gourmet meals at a sporting goods store near you or at campchef.com. Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
He said we're right on him. Without missing a beat, you'll drop your line down to 42 feet. If you don't screw up, it won't be long. Someone in this boat's gonna sing Fish On. Fish on, fish on. Do it by the book, don't take too long. Set the hook.
Up next, we're talking to Peter Floor at Hooked on Toys in Wenatchee about the upcoming CCA NCW Salmon Derby. It's taking place on the Columbia River near Wenatchee on July 17th and 18th. Peter, welcome to the show. Tell me more about this Salmon Derby.
Well, this will be our third year of this Salmon Derby, and we are expanding the boundaries. It will be run from Rock Island Dam all the way up to the bottom of Wells. So about 60 miles of fishable water. Skippers meeting will be at the Eagles on Thursday the 17th. It's a mandatory meeting, get all the skippers in the same room so everybody gets the same rules. We give them a skipper's packet with flags for the boat so we can ID who's fishing the derby, and any questions can be answered there. And then you will fish starting 4:30 a.m. Friday the 18th. You can fish until 9 p.m. that night, and fishing ceases, final weigh-in for the day, and then starts again at 4:30 Saturday morning on the 19th, and you can fish until 2:30. That's final weigh-in time. Awards will begin at 5 p.m. at the Eagles here in Wenatchee. And if you catch the biggest fish, John, you can pay me back that $2,000 you owe me.
All right, so skippers meeting on the 17th, fishing on the 18th, fishing on the 19th. And I got to ask, this is their third year. How big of a summer Chinook do you have to catch to have a shot at winning this derby?
You're catching me flat-footed there, but I believe year one was one with a 32-pounder that came in 10 minutes to close the scales and beat out a 28. And the second year was one with a 26-pounder.
Is impressive. Those are some nice fishing, folks. The Upper Columbia River is full of big Chinook salmon in July and August. And speaking of August, I understand you're partnering with the long-running Brewster Salmon Derby that takes place the first week of August on this event, too. Tell me more about that partnership.
Well, what we've got going with the two derbies, John, is you and I fish the Wenatchee Derby. And it's all said and done. You caught 40 pounds of Chinook salmon. I caught 38 pounds of Chinook salmon. So 2 weeks later, we'll be up at Brewster, and we might even be fishing on different boats. This is an individual total weight from the two derbies. So you fish the Wenatchee Salmon Derby, and then you go fish the Brewster Derby, you're automatically in.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So let's say you caught 40 pounds, and I'm a math simpleton, so you're going to catch another 40 pounds up at Brewster. You've got 80 pounds total cumulative weight.
Okay.
And you are fishing against everyone else that has fished both derbies. So the top three individual combined weights will be given. The top three prizes are going to be a pair of Digitrol 10s from Canon. This is the top of the pops downrigger. They're $13.99 a piece retail.
Wow.
And you're getting two of them.
Wow. All right. That's worth fishing both derbies right there.
We have an 8 Series Lowrance fish finder. It's about a $2,000 unit. And I am working on a Minn Kota bow mount motor, but I don't have that nailed down yet.
Well, Peter, knowing you, I have no doubt you'll come through. Let's talk about other prizes for the CCA NCW Salmon Derby taking place between the 17th and the 19th of July near Wenatchee. Let's talk cash and let's talk about how you go about getting it.
Okay, so we have first, second, and third place on individual weight. First place is $2,000, second place is $1,750, and third place is $1,500. So the other prize category in 1, 2, 3 again is boat weight.
Okay.
So you and my son Wiley and I fish on one boat, and none of us catch the biggest fish, but we limit every day. And our total boat weight is heavier than every other boat. We win $1,750.
Nice. Okay. Let me ask you another question here. This is a lot of money. It's called the CCA NCW Salmon Derby. CCA, of course, standing for the Coastal Conservation Association. Are proceeds from this derby going to this organization, which is a conservation organization that looks out not only for the fish, but anglers' interests?
It is a recreational fishermen's association, basically. That is to say, the commercial fishing lobby in the legislative level is very, very entrenched in the state of Washington.
Agreed.
And CCA was brought here to Washington and Oregon 6 years ago by Gary Loomis, as in G. Loomis Rods, and his nephew Bobby Loomis, who of course is over at Max now. And the purpose for bringing CCA here was to get the gill nets that are run in the mouth of the Columbia out of the river.
Well, and we are getting there thanks to efforts by CCA. Getting back to the original question, though, are proceeds from this derby going to CCA, or how is this benefiting the organization?
What this derby is about is membership. We're battling two words in the name of this outfit, the first one being coastal.
That's true. You are a little ways from the coast, my friend.
Yeah, not exactly something everybody over here wants to join up with. The second one being conservation, which actually is, I think, quite a misunderstood word, because if you look at the history of conservation, the primary conservationists in the United States of America are hunters and fishermen.
You're absolutely right. I mean, as a matter of fact, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation promotes that very fact. Ducks Unlimited embraces the hunting lifestyle as well, and it's nice to see this organization, Coastal Conservation Association, is doing the same for anglers. We need to probably switch topics here and go back to the Derby itself. Is there unlimited entries, or is there a cap on how many people can enter?
You know, the Brewster Derby has a cap at 275 tickets because that's the maximum number of people they want to put onto the Brewster pool.
Sure.
I feel like if I had 275 participants, I would be really succeeding. So my printer messed up and printed 500 tickets. I will sell every one of them.
All right. So
I got 60 miles of river to fish,
well,
John, so I'm not too worried about overcrowding.
Right, I was going to say, with 60 miles of river to fish, and you and I both know there's plenty of good places to catch salmon in that stretch. That's a lot of room to succeed. You're not going to be right on top of each other when you do it, too. The website, folks, if you want to find out more about the CCA NCW Salmon Derby taking place July 17th with the Skippers meeting, fishing on the 18th and 19th is WenatcheeSalmonDerby.com. Again, WenatcheeSalmonDerby.com is the website. Hooked on Toys is a sporting goods store. That's the place to buy them. If you hear some background noise, that's because Peter works there, and this is a busy, busy place. They've got great tips on fishing. And before we go, let me ask you, for people who are considering fishing this derby or just want to get out there this summer and catch a summer king, what's the basic setup? How do you go about getting a fish in the boat?
Super baits, baby. You're going to be running, the best case scenario is you've got downriggers, and you're going to run a 11-inch Pro Troll flasher with a super bait stuffed with tuna and super dipping sauce behind it. If you really want to hammer fish, you're going to make one more buy, and that is for a scent bomb, which my partner Don and I have been fishing for about 3 years. We got the shape and the size perfected last year. They are now being manufactured and available here at the store. Scent bombs make me look like a great fisherman.
Well, there you go, folks. Don't say we didn't give you the inside scoop on how to win the CCA NCW Salmon Derby. Again, it's taking place July 17th, 18th, and 19th on the Columbia River near Wenatchee, Washington. The website to find out more, WenatcheeSalmonDerby.com. Hooked on Toys is the place to stop in to get your tickets. Peter, thanks for telling us all about it on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thank you, John. Have a good day.
Fish
From the Columbia River to Puget Sound, the Coastal Conservation Association in the Pacific Northwest works to conserve the fish we love and does so while protecting our heritage of sport fishing. To find out more, go to ccapnw.org. Again, that's ccapnw.org.
Breathe the fresh mountain air and feel the tranquility in Northeast Oregon's Wallowa County. Cast your line into the clear waters of our mountain-fed streams and rivers. Find solitude and surround yourself with nature as you fish for rainbow, brook, and bull trout. Or challenge yourself and fish for world-class steelhead in the wild and scenic Wallowa River or kokanee in the deep waters of Wallowa Lake. And when evening comes, spend some time hoisting a local brew and telling the tales of the one that got away. Watch the world wake up in Wallowa County. Your morning begins at WallowaCountyChamber.com.
Good hunters know before you take that shot, you've got to see the whole picture. Now, the best way to do that is with a spotting scope, binoculars, or a rifle scope, but it's got to be from Leupold. Now, Leupold is a Northwest company with a reputation that stretches across the world for making superior optics. Look for Leupold Optics at your local Cabela store, Dick's Sporting Goods, or online at Leupold.com. Leupold, America's optical authority.
We're back with John Cruz on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
It's time for another Max Minute.
Fish on.
Brought to you every week by Max Lure Company. And it being Father's Day weekend, we thought we'd talk with Lance Mers from Max Lure Company about Father's Day and maybe a little bit about fishing too, because it is a free fishing weekend in Montana, and the 14th is a free fishing day in Idaho. Lance, did your dad take you fishing a lot?
He took me all over the place, John, and it was a great thing. Anytime we got out on the water, just he and I, it was a fantastic time. And there's no other time like Father's Day to go out with a full tackle box of Max Lure products that you and Dad can go fishing with.
You know, I love that idea of instead of a card for Father's Day, go ahead and get him some fishing tackle that he'll appreciate. And then better yet, go ahead and put that fishing tackle to use. Where are a couple places your dad took you growing up that kind of stick with you as you think about him on Father's Day?
I got to go back with Lake Concanoli, Alta Lake, Black Lake. You know, those were some great places that I'm never going to forget. You know, Fish Lake is another great one. We, do the cold camping thing. And, there's also a lot of fish that have been dumped into a lot of these lakes just in time for Father's Day, too. So there's a lot of great lakes out there that have a lot of fish.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of these lakes you're talking about up in north central Washington, Okanagan County, they are great fishing lakes, offer great camping opportunities. So consider this, folks, of heading on out, whether it's Okanagan County or anywhere else in the Northwest, and having a Father's Day that you're going to remember. And again, it doesn't have to be with your father. It can be with your son. It can be with your grandson. It can be with your grandfather. The whole idea is getting out there with a father, going fishing, having fun, and don't forget to stock up on some Max Lure products when you do so. Lance, happy Father's Day, and thanks for telling us all about it on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
To you as well, John.
I'd like to tell you I just brought down that buck, but I didn't. I missed. And you know why I missed? Because of the scope I've got on my rifle. You see, my friends told me to get a Leupold rifle scope. Why? Well, because Leupold is America's optical authority. They make a huge variety of quality scopes for every need, and they make them right here in the Northwest. Unfortunately, I didn't listen. I used the cheap scope that came with this rifle when I bought it. And when it came time to pull the trigger, well, let's just say things were a little blurry. Now, I've got nothing to look forward to except a long, empty-handed walk back home. Next time I come out into the field, there's going to be a Leupold scope on my rifle. And next time, I'm not going to miss.
Leupold Rifle Scopes. Check out the whole line at Leupold.com and look for them at a sporting goods store near you.
Looking for the ultimate salmon and halibut fishing experience at a great price? Then make plans to enjoy the real news for the Wild Northern Fish-In. Taking place August 23rd through the 26th, you'll be fishing the protected waters around British Columbia's Queen Charlotte Islands during the day and enjoying first-class food and accommodations at night. If you want an incredible saltwater fishing experience you'll never forget, the Wild Northern Fish-In is for you. Find out more at therealnews.com. That's the real, REEL news.com for the Wild Northern Fish-In.
Pheasants Forever is working hard every day to ensure there's more wildlife habitat for the future. To join us, go to pheasantsforever.org.
I'm gonna jig me up a walleye from the bottom of the lake, and I'm not gonna tell you what I use for bait. I'm a jigger. I'm the best jigger around.
are back with our special tournament series of Northwestern Outdoors Radio. We've got another benefit to talk to you about, a derby, a tournament, if you will, for a good cause. It's the Camp Make a Dream Walleye Benefit. It's taking place August 1st and 2nd at Canyon Ferry Reservoir near Helena, Montana. With us here to tell us more about it is Carol Henkel. Carol, welcome to the show.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. And this is a wonderful thing you're doing. Tell me more about this fishing derby that's taking place at Canyon Ferry Reservoir.
Well, it starts on the 1st of August, and we have a barbecue at from 6 to 7, and it's a donation towards that free will offering if you want to. And then we have a rules meeting at 7. The next day, we start at 7 in the morning and blow the horn, and people go out on the water and fish all day till 3, and then we have an awards ceremony at 4 o'clock.
How much does it cost? How much does it cost to go ahead and get in on this tournament?
It is $60.
Okay.
50 of that, it's $60 per boat. Let me clarify that.
Sure.
$50 for Camp Make a Dream, and $10 that goes to Canyon Ferry. By law, we have to donate something to the waterway for using it. So everything that we make, whatever we do, goes pretty much towards Camp Make a Dream.
Well, tell me more about Camp Make a Dream. I understand this is a very special ranch in western Montana. Tell our listeners more about it.
It's outside of Drummond, Montana, and it's a camp for kids with cancer. It's a wonderful place. These kids may be on chemotherapy at the time. They may be in remission. They have a nurse there, a physician there. They have several camps all summer long, and they get to have a week of just pure joy being outside, not being told, no, you can't do this. Yes, you can do that. They fish. They camp a little bit. They have a rappelling wall. They do things that they have not been able to do to be normal kids. And they stay there, and it's all paid for them. Now, because Montana doesn't have a lot of kids with cancer, it's open to all of the states. And we just help with our money to donate towards it. It's a wonderful place.
Oh, it sounds fantastic. And I understand this isn't that old of a camp. It was founded, around 1991? It was actually a working ranch and converted to Camp Make a Dream?
It was a working ranch of a couple, and as they got older, they wanted to do something with it that would help a cause. And they had some ties with someone who had a child with cancer, and they saw the need, and so they started this camp. I haven't been there at camp time, but I have been there otherwise, and it is a beautiful camp. I mean, it's just, they have one room that's just for ceramics and art and things like that, and then they have another building that has beautiful facilities for the kids to sleep, and they love it. It's so much fun for them. And they don't only do kid camps, they also do one for women with uterine and breast cancer. They do one for teens with brain cancer, and they also do one for siblings, because the siblings, of course, are part of the crisis of cancer. They have to deal with everything that happens in the family. So they also have camp for that.
Wow. This is fantastic.
It's an awesome place.
So again, folks, this is Camp Make a Dream. It's spelled a little bit different, so I want you to Google this, because this really is something special. Camp, common spelling, and make, drop the E. So it's Camp Mac a Dream is how you would actually spell it when you Google it. So it's called Camp Make a Dream, but when you Google it, Camp Mac a Dream is what you Google. Find out more about this camp. And I love the fact that this benefit is helping keeping this afloat and keeping it going, so that these special people fighting a very tough battle can go ahead and have some great memories. Let's go ahead and talk about something else, because this is a big part of the tournament, but another part of the tournament that's taking place on August 2nd is just to get people outside and fishing on Canyon Ferry Reservoir.
That's right. And it's also to encourage families and people to take kids and their own family who don't get out, or who haven't ever tried it before, and they have the opportunity to go with someone who has a boat. It is not run like a regular tournament. When my husband and I and Peggy designed it, we decided that we wanted it to be less structured than the tournament that you hear about. And so once you're on the water, you can get off the water. If your wife needs to use the restroom, my husband always called it the free-to-pee tournament. If the kids get bored and they want to get out for a while, you can do that. This past year, we had a grandfather who brought 9 of his grandkids, and what he did was he rotated them out all day long so that they could go fishing. And it was wonderful to watch this man who wanted to make sure that his grandkids knew what fishing was like. And some of them had never been.
I love this, Carol.
The philosophy of it.
That is so great, because I have been that guy in the boat with one other angler, and you're right. It's like, you got to pee, here's a can, because we're fishing all day. There's nobody else coming in the boat. We're not hitting shore, and those are the rules, so to speak. So to hear that this is more family oriented and just to get people out.
It has a very relaxed environment. We do awards. We have a grand prize. We have 4 money prizes. They start at first prizes is $500, and then second is $350, third is $250, and fourth is $150. So it's not a lot of money. You get a rock. Peggy goes out and finds rocks, and then we take them and have them engraved. So you can put it in your yard and say, hey, I won this prize for that, for this tournament. We also have a ladies' prize because I said, hey, these women come and some of them sit all day long while their husband's out because they're not interested in fishing. They deserve to get a prize too. And then we have a kids' prize. And then we also get donations for the raffle. We'd love anybody who's interested in donating something, please call. And we do that, and then we have one regular raffle that's like 10 items that are big ticket items that you can put money in, and everything that we get goes to Camp Make a Dream, beyond that $10 that we have to give per boat for Canyon Ferry. Very relaxed and a lot of fun, and we can have 60 boats, so we'd love to see people come and take the day and enjoy it.
Folks, you're listening to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. We're talking to Carol Henkel about the Camp Make a Dream Walleye Benefit. It's taking place August 1st and August 2nd. August 1st is just a barbecue and a rule meeting. August 2nd is the day you go fish. Really laid-back tournament where you're raising money for Camp Make a Dream, a camp that takes care of kids with cancer. It's open to people all over the place, though the location is Western Montana, and this walleye benefit goes a long way towards helping. We have got to go, but before we do, we better give people a phone number so they can contact you and maybe sign up for this tournament, Carol.
Sounds great. They can call me. My name is Carol Henkel, Henkel, and the number is 633-2598. The area code is 406.
Okay.
Or you can call Peggy. She's 406-855-8432. We'd love to hear from you.
And I'm going to repeat Carol's number again, folks. It's 406-633-2598. That's 406-633-2598. One more time in case you didn't have those pencils ready. 406-633-2598. That's Carol Henkel's number, so you can get a hold of her about heading to Canyon Ferry Reservoir near Helena and fishing the Camp Make a Dream Walleye Benefit on the 1st and 2nd of August. Carol, this is great stuff that you are doing along with your other friends.
You better come too, John.
I'd love to. We'll see what happens. Carol, we got to go, but thanks for telling us all about this on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thank you for having me.
I'm the best jigger around. I'm gonna jig me up a walleye right now.
I'm Bob Loomis, and I fish for walleye. Sometimes when I'm out on the water, I feel like a destroyer captain hunting for targets with my electronics. I'm not hunting submarines, though. I'm hunting fish, and when I find that big one on the fish finder, I want to make sure she's going to bite. That's where the Smile Blade Slow Death Rig from Max Lure comes in. The Smile Blade spins and flashes at ultra-slow speeds, and the one-of-a-kind red hook keeps that bait moving in a way the fish can't resist. It's the Smile Blade Slow Death Rig. You're the destroyer. This is your depth charge. Only from Max Lure.
More habitat equals more wildlife. Pheasants Forever is working hard every day to ensure there's more wildlife habitat for the future. Join the habitat leader and help create wildlife habitat in your community. To join us, go to pheasantsforever.org.
You can fish from a boat, or you can stand on shore, or you can use a pontoon with carpet on the floor. You can sit upon a dock or wade out to a big old rock.
You're back with Northwestern Outdoors Radio, and it's time for news and reports from the field, brought to you every week by Mardon Resort, located at Eastern Washington's Potholes Reservoir. We've been talking a lot about fishing derbies during this show, but on August 23rd, something a little different is going to be happening at Mardon Resort. It's the Lake Poker Run and Beach Party. It's always a lot of fun. You basically are going to take your boat, head to select locations around 27,000-acre Potholes Reservoir, pick up a poker hand, come on back, and have fun at the beach party. Find out more at mardonresort.com. Mardon Resort, where the fish bite, but we don't. We've got a couple of news items for you this week. In Montana, bighorn sheep and domestic sheep just don't mix. You see, domestic sheep carry bacteria and viruses that often cause fatal pneumonia outbreaks in bighorn sheep, something that can decimate a whole herd in a hurry. That's why Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks officials killed 3 bighorn sheep on June 5th when they found them mingling with domestic sheep released there by the city of Missoula as part of an annual spring and summer program to reduce foliage. Vicki Edwards, a Fish, Wildlife, Parks biologist, says this is the first time since 2000 that there has been any documented interaction between the wild and domestic sheep population. In Oregon, you may recall we told you that OR7, the wandering wolf who made his way from northeast Oregon to the Oregon-California border, had found a mate. Well, now the two are the proud parents of some wolf puppies. According to the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, biologists have been able to photograph at least 2 pups belonging to these new southern Oregon resident wolves, and there may be more that haven't been seen yet. It looks like Oregon's wolf population is spreading, and it would seem Northern California is going to get their own wolf packs much sooner than later. In Washington State, several lakes are getting a special trout stocking for Father's Day, so you can have a day on the water like the ones Lance Mers told us about having with his dad on our Max Minute segment. Here's just a few of the lakes that were stocked with trout for this weekend, starting off in western Washington in Skagit County, Campbell Lake, Mason County, Mason Lake, American Lake in Pierce County. Moving to central Washington, Cooper Lake in Kittitas County, Park Lake in Grant County, and Conconoli Reservoir in Okanogan County. And let's go ahead and head further east because West Medical Lake and Williams Lake both got stocked. And let's not forget the 155,000 trout. Yeah, you heard that right. 155 grand in trout are being released into Spokane Lake, also known as Long Lake, this month. Speaking of fishing, we'd like to remind you, Saturday listeners, that the 14th is a free fishing day in Idaho, and both the 14th and 15th are free fishing days in Montana. That's right, no license required, and this is really attractive if you are from out of state and want to take advantage of this event because you don't have to purchase an out-of-state license to go fishing. Saturday the 14th is also National Get Outdoors Day. And in celebration of that, you'll find fees are waived at National Forest trailheads and other day-use sites that normally require recreation passes here in the Northwest. Just another excuse to get outside. Next up on this fishing derby weekend on Northwestern Outdoors Radio, we've already talked salmon, we've already talked walleye. Well, now it's time to talk bass. With us here to tell us more about the Ray Stanley Memorial Bass Tournament taking place on the Upper Columbia River is tournament organizer Shannon Hampy. Shannon, welcome to the show.
Hi, John.
Shannon, let's go ahead and talk about this. When is it taking place, and what are the basic details about the Ray Stanley Memorial Bass Tournament?
Well, our tournament is always the third weekend in July, which is in conjunction with our town festival of the Apple Pie Jamboree here in Pateros. This year it falls on Saturday, July 19th. We blast off and weigh in at the Memorial Park in the middle of all of the festival activities, which makes it a really great family-oriented fishing tournament. We start registration on site at the boat launch that morning at around 4 a.m., followed by our driver's meeting at 4:30, and then we blast off in front of the park at first flight around 5 a.m.
This is the Columbia River, and Pateros, folks, if you don't know, it's up in north central Washington. It's right at the mouth of the Methow River, and it's better known as a place to go salmon fishing and steelhead fishing than bass fishing. Where are people going to be fishing for bass during this tournament?
Well, our fishable waters fall between Chief Joseph Dam and the Wells Dam, so that does include the Okanagan River and all of the Columbia River that falls in there. Not well known, but that's what makes it fantastic.
Well, tell me a little bit more about the bass fishing here. Is this basically a smallmouth show, or do we have largemouth too? And how are people going about catching them?
Well, our fishery here for bass is predominantly smallmouth with a few largemouth. However, when we first started this tournament back in the early 90s, it was predominantly largemouth back then.
Interesting.
Today, if you do catch a largemouth, you're pretty lucky, and it is going to be a tank.
So how are people catching this fish? Are they basically right up against the riprap on the Columbia? Are they going up in the Okanagan where it's a little bit marshy and going after fish there? And if so, what are they using to get fish to strike?
I can't give you too many secrets.
That's fair. Okay, we'll back up a little bit. And suffice it to say, folks, there is a lot of good structure on the Columbia River for smallmouth to hang out at. The mouth of the Okanagan is an excellent place to fish for fish, too. But I am going to tie you down to something. What are the basic techniques that anglers have for success when it comes to fishing this tournament in the summer?
Typically, that time of year, in the morning, you're going to hit topwater bite, fishing with baits like the popper and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
After the sun's warmed the water up, the fish move a little bit deeper, and throwing football head jigs works well. When they're all schooled up for tournament fishing, the rattle traps are a great choice because you can haul in a bunch of fish quickly.
Yeah. Love rattle traps.
Yes. For the largemouth, flipping jigs or Cincos in the slack water that's running slow around the structure is going to get you some luck, hopefully.
Okay, well, there you go. One more thing we better talk about is the prizes. Tell me about the prizes that people can win fishing the Ray Stanley Memorial Bass Tournament.
Our prizes are part of why I love our tournament so much. We get a lot of donations from local merchants and sponsors from further away. We pay out 1 in 5 places for who enters at 80% this year. We have 2 optional big fish pots, one for the smallmouth and one for largemouth.
We are running out of time, but folks, Shannon puts a lot of time into this, and there's a reason for that. Ray Stanley was Shannon's father, and he's passed on, and Shannon's carrying on his legacy by putting together this bass tournament every year. Shannon, if people want to find out more about signing up, is there a Facebook page, a website we can direct them to?
Absolutely. We are on Facebook. It's Ray Stanley Memorial Bass Tournament. You can also find us on the Pateras.com website to link over to find some more information on it. And people are free to call me at 509-679-6406 if they would like some more information as well.
3 ways to sign up for the Ray Stanley Memorial Bass Tournament taking place July 19th. You can go ahead and give Shannon a call, 509-679-6406. Again, 509-679-6406, or go to the Facebook page for the Ray Stanley Memorial Bass Tournament, or just go to Pateras.com. Pateras spelled Pateros. Sounds like a great fishing derby taking place up in north central Washington. Shannon, thanks for telling us all about it on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
You're welcome.
Clear Lake, Bass Lake, Otter Lake, Goose Lake, Gull Lake, Round Lake, Bear Lake, Rice Lake, Sugar Lake, Mud Lake, Long Lake, Ant Lake, Swan Lake, and Lake of the Woods. Oh, I fish everywhere.
Ah, the great outdoors. I'm ready for a great weekend of camping at this remote campground. But first, I think I'll invite my camp neighbors over for a meal of fire-roasted hot dogs and baked beans. Dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum. Hi, neighbors. I just came over to...
Pizza!
Hey, is that pizza you're eating? How did you get pizza out in the middle of nowhere?
Pizza!
Thanks. Oh, this is delicious. A pizza oven operated on a propane canister and another on the top of your camp stove, and they're both made by Camp Chef? I knew Camp Chef made great stuff for outdoors cooking, but this? I've got to get one of these pizza ovens from Camp Chef. No more beans and weenies for this guy. From now on, it's artisan pizza for me when I'm camping.
Pizza!
The Camp Chef Pizza Oven. Bake your own artisan masterpiece on your back patio or at the campground. Find out more at your local sporting goods dealer or at campchef.com.
Wallowa County in Northeast Oregon has so much to do. Do you like camping, boating, whitewater floating, hunting, fishing, biking, hiking, maybe even mountain climbing? Take a walk through hometown shops or ride a tram to the top. See an old tractor or classic car show, or take in a professional rodeo. Join a powwow, see a dog sled race, or even tour a historic place. Hear a mule or alpenhorn? Ride a train or ride a horse. Spend some time at the local golf course. Wake up to the world in Wallowa County. Your morning begins at WallowaCountyChamber.com.
We're talking to Mike Meisberg again at Mardon Resort at Eastern Washington's huge Potholes Reservoir. Mike, why is your resort so popular every summer?
Fun in the sun, in a beautiful warm camping area, swimming area, fishing for all kinds of fish, especially topwater bass fishing.
We are just scratching the surface as to why you'll want to head there this summer. Find out more at MardonResort.com. That's Mardon Resort, where the fish bite, but we don't.
You demand quality performance from your binoculars, whether you use them in the field, on the water, or at a stadium. But you don't want to spend a fortune. That's where the BX McKenzie binoculars from Leupold come in. These armored, waterproof binoculars are both comfortable and dependable. Look for your McKenzie binoculars at quality sporting goods retailers near you, to include your Cabela's, Sportsman's Warehouse, or Northwest Bi-Mart stores. BX McKenzie, bringing your world into sharper focus, only from Leupold.
Looking for the ultimate salmon and halibut fishing experience at a great price? Then make plans to enjoy the real news for the Wild Northern Fish-In. Taking place August 23rd through the 26th. You'll be fishing the protected waters around British Columbia's Queen Charlotte Islands during the day and enjoying first-class food and accommodations at night. If you want an incredible saltwater fishing experience you'll never forget, the Wild Northern Fish-In is for you. Find out more at therealnews.com. That's the real, REEL news.com for the Wild Northern Fish-In.
That's the sound you hear when a fish hits the new Sonic bait fish from Max Lure Company. This metal lure can be cast, trolled, or jigged and will catch just about anything that swims in the sea, the river, or the lake. The Sonic bait fish has a unique vibration and flutter that can be rigged in 7 different ways. With all sorts of eye-catching colors and weights available, you'll be reaching for the Sonic bait fish as your go-to lure. It's the Sonic bait fish. Only from Max Lure Company.
We're back with one last cast from John Cruz on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
It's time for upcoming events, and it being a fishing derby show, we thought we'd share a few more with you. The Elks Lodge in St. Mary's, Idaho, home of our affiliate, 1240 KOFE, will be having their annual Lake Coeur d'Alene Fishing Derby for kids and adults alike on June 28th, and I would imagine you can find out about getting a ticket at the Blue Goose Sporting Goods store in town. In Montana, Fishin' for the Cure, an organization dedicated to curing child cancer one lake at a time, is having their 7th annual pike and walleye fishing tournament August 16th at Fort Peck Reservoir. This is another Montana fishing tournament for a great cause. Find out more at Fishin', no G there, fishinforthecure.com. In Washington, the Northwest Salmon Derby Series has several derbies coming up in both the north and south portions of Puget Sound, to include the Harbor Marine Salmon Tournament in Everett on July 26th and the 27th, the Gig Harbor Puget Sound Angler Salmon Derby on August 9th, and the South Sound Salmon Derby near Olympia on August 16th. Find out more details at NorthwestSalmonDerbySeries.com. Again, that's NorthwestSalmonDerbySeries.com. And in Oregon, we've got smaller salmon fishing tournaments. That's right, kokanee salmon derbies are being put on by Kokanee Power of Oregon. One such derby will be taking place at Green Peter Reservoir on July 12th, and another one's going to go off at Odell Lake on August 16th. You can go to Kokanee Power Oregon for more info about those. There are more tournaments we could tell you about this weekend, but I'm afraid we're out of time. So go to our Facebook page at Northwestern Outdoors Radio, like us, follow us, and you'll find that we're going to be posting information about, well, additional derbies coming up this summer and throughout the year. Don't forget to go to our website, too, at northwesternoutdoors.com. You'll find links to find out more about our guests, previews of the upcoming show, and you'll also get to hear audio from last week's show, just in case you missed it. Until next time, I hope all of you dads out there have a great Father's Day. Take care, God bless, and make it a point to spend some time outdoors.